up on CitrusTV News Live at 6, we break down the Yes Means Yes campaign.
And what do students think of No Shave November?
And a historic landmark reopens today in New York City.
All that and more CitrusTV News starts right now. Welcome and thank you for joining us on CitrusTV News Live at 6. I'm Brian Chueng.
And I'm Nick Cardona. Earlier today, hundreds of students took over the quad in a peaceful protest. What are they upset about? That is our top story tonight. And Syracuse and ESF students and faculty gathered outside of Hendricks Chapel this afternoon to protest the behind closed doors nature of the university administration's policies. Issues in the spotlight today included campus diversity, the merging of the advocacy and counseling centers, reduced funding of the Pace Scholarship, and the decision not to divest from fossil fuels.
The rally attracted several hundred participants and featured chants and multiple speakers from different groups around campus. The event is still in effect. We had Caroline Strange reporting live from the admissions building. We're having some technical difficulties, but we're told that there are over 50 organizations represented, and in fact, one student organization is meeting with the administration, so there is some productive conversation happening there, but we'll continue to update that on CitrusTV News. On Sunday, the Students of Sustainability Organization and the Red Cup Project held a pickup day to promote a clean campus. In less than 2 hours, both groups collected more than 30 bags of trash and recyclables from residential streets near the SU campus. Every Sunday for the rest of November, the two groups will meet at 11 a.m. by the Climate Garden outside of Life Sciences to do their part in cleaning up campus.
And the number of domestic abuse calls in Syracuse decreased between the years 2012 to 2013, according to the latest report from the Vera House. The Vera House, a nonprofit with the goal of ending domestic abuse and sexual assaults, released its 25th report. According to the report, the number of phone calls answered by the Syracuse Police Department related to domestic abuse decreased by 515 calls.
And today marks the beginning of SU's Yes Means Yes campaign hosted by the Greek community. The campaign is meant to bring awareness to sexual violence and consent on campus. We have Panhellenic President Ashley Newman joining us tonight to discuss the campaign further. Ashley, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Good, good. So good to have you here. So what's happening with the events on campus? What are going on? What's your organization? What does the Yes Means Yes campaign mean?
Yeah, so the Yes Means Yes campaign is basically Greeks Against Sexual Assault, and the Panhellenic community decided to spearhead this. It's a conversation that's happening way too frequently, and we decided to come together and do something about it. So this week we're basically focusing on raising awareness. We have tabling going on every day in Shine and in Newhouse, and we're hoping to just get people talking about the topic and raise awareness.
Now, how are you planning to connect with the community to deliver that message to the communities that really need to hear how to stop domestic violence on campus?
So really, as the Panhellenic Council president, I saw that this was really coming to me and people were saying these things are happening on campus and what can we do? So something that I've learned as an advocate for domestic violence outside of my role in the Panhellenic Council is to start conversations about it. So what we're hoping is that by tabling and giving out the facts about sexual assault, and that by giving out the resources, that people will understand that they can go to help and that they can do things about this problem. Another big part of it is connecting with IFC, and the big part of that is bringing the sororities and fraternities together and empowering individuals to make a difference.
What's the next step for you guys? What's the next goal going forward?
The next goal is to really make people comfortable with this topic, and the whole idea behind Yes Means Yes is really empowering individuals and giving that power back, specifically to females and sorority women, as we are the Panhellenic Council. You'll see on all of the Panhellenic sororities this week, they have the Yes Means Yes banner outside of their houses, and just letting people know that we have the right to say that we have consent.
Panhellenic President Ashley Newman, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And coming up next, we have the latest news on the much-anticipated World Trade Center opening for business after 13 years.
And find out about the arrest of a law graduate from the University of London that has started a movement in Iran.
Clouds have been covering the sky for most of the day in Syracuse, but fortunately we haven't seen any rain. Temperatures are hanging in the 50s, but are expected to drop later this evening. Find out what we're expecting for the rest of your week during your full 5-day forecast. CitrusTV News Live at 6. We'll be right back.
Look, he's blushing.
Learning how to kickflip 6 stairs takes determination. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Now it's time for This Week in Bad Stats.
Bad stats?
Horrible stats. Here goes. 132.
That's how many batters struck out 4 times in one game last season.
Wow, very good. Here's a tough one, though. 3 and 4.
No idea.
That's how many kids witness bullying. 3 out of 4.
That's not a good stat.
No, it's not, but it can change. Kids want to help, but they don't know how. Visit stopbullying.gov and give them the tools they need to help prevent bullying.
There are plenty of safe ways kids can help at stopbullying.gov.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News Live at 6.
It's that time of year again. We're talking about No Shave November. Well, November means a few things: Thanksgiving, pumpkin spice lattes, and not shaving for some. No Shave November has officially begun to raise awareness about prostate cancer. What do USU students think of this event? Citrus TV headed down to Shine today to find out.
Yeah, I think No Shave November is basically, it's fun to do, but really unnecessary overall.
Well, I've never myself participated in No Shave November, but my fraternity, Phi Sigma Pi, is having a No Shave November competition, and I've seen everyone get really excited about it, and it seems like a great thing.
I would say that No Shave November is kind of pointless. I don't really see the purpose of it. I think No Shave November is a very important thing to have for a month. It raises awareness. We have breast cancer awareness for the whole month of October, so it makes sense that we have an awareness for men's prostate cancer for the entire month of November.
In August, the U.S. government agreed to a police request that restricted more than 37 square miles of airspace around Ferguson, Missouri for safety. However, audio recordings show that local authorities were privately aware that the main purpose of this was to keep away news helicopters during dangerous street protests. The Associated Press obtained these recordings of the Federal Aviation Administration under the U.S. Freedom of Information Act. And last Friday, Virgin Galactic's experimental spaceship fell apart when flying over California's Mojave Desert after the device deployed. Christopher Hart, National Transportation Safety Board chairman, stated that the feathering system was activated before the craft had reached its appropriate speed. However, no cause for the crash of Spaceship Two has been determined. In order to deploy Spaceship Two requires a 2-step process, and according to Hart, the second step of the process occurred, quote, without being commanded.
And 13 years after the terrorist attacks on September 11th, the World Trade Center is opening for business, marking an emotional milestone in our country's history. Today, publishing giant Condé Nast became the first company to move into One World Trade Center. The building is 104 stories tall and worth $3.9 billion, dominating the Manhattan skyline as America's tallest building. The tall tower overlooks the National September 11th Memorial and Museum and is the centerpiece of the site where the Twin Towers once stood strong.
And the Turkish Coast Guard reports that a boat sank off the coast of Turkey early this morning, killing 24 migrants. The migrants are believed to be from Afghanistan and Syria and were traveling to Romania, a member state of the European Union. It has been reported that in this year alone, hundreds of thousands of migrants have fled their home countries to try and reach European Union member states.
And Iraqi security forces are planning a major spring offensive against Islamic State fighters who have entered the country from Syria. The campaign is expected to face many political and logistical challenges. The goal of the offensive is to establish the Iraqi government's control over Mosul and to break the Islamic State occupation in Iraq. According to American officials, the offensive will also declare the Islamic government's dominance over the country's major roads and its border with Syria by late 2015. And a British banker is being charged with 2 counts of murder in Hong Kong. The man in custody, Rurik George Catton Jutting, called the police early Saturday morning asking them to come to his high-rise Hong Kong apartment. When the police arrived, they found 2 women in their late 20s brutally murdered. Hong Kong officials are still investigating the crime, and Jutting is scheduled to appear in court on November 10th. And now we bring in Caroline Strange here. We had some technical difficulties earlier, but tell us a little bit more about what it was like out there in the administration building with those who were involved with the diversity and transparency cause on campus.
Yes, it was led by the General Student Body, which is a conglomeration of 50 student organizations here on campus, Students of Sustainability being one of them, as well as Men's Issues. There are several different organizations involved with it. They were all kind of camped out in Kraft Heinz Hall, the admissions building there, lining up the stairwell where they were. There were little cubicles. They were sitting in those. They were spread out all over the floor. They had food. They were ordering food, so they were ready to be camped out for at least the night.
So are there any productive meetings going on now as a result of this? What's the next step going forward?
There appeared to be a meeting. I couldn't really tell. The blinds were closed in one of the front rooms, but it appeared to be one student organization there with several university heads. I believe the athletic director might have been there as one of them, but it wasn't really clear. Not many people knew who was in the meeting at that time. Nobody knew which student organization it was, but they knew that there was one taking place upstairs, and they were kind of waiting their turn to go up there.
All right, Caroline Strange, thanks so much. All right, up next, we've got the latest updates on Taylor Swift, who's dominating the Billboard charts once again.
And the emotionally riveting stories of a new idol. Lauren Hill will be right back.
Packers. Viking. Packers. Viking. Viking.
Red state. Blue state. Vegan.
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown.
Downtown.
Night owl.
Early bird.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
Half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities, our families,
United.
even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up at liveunited.org.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
And cold weather came at us fast over the past few weeks, and it doesn't look like it'll be slowing down. Chief Weather Anchor Rachel Wolski is in our Weather Center with a look at your full forecast. Rachel?
Yeah, today, Nick, we definitely saw cloudy skies for the majority of the day, and that cold weather is definitely rolling in. But currently, it's mostly cloudy, 56 degrees. Winds are coming from the west-southwest at 12 miles an hour with a humidity of 39%. We're going to see a low of 46 later this evening, but we did see a high around 145 of 58. And taking a look into tonight, we are going to see a low of 41, It's a little bit lower than we expected. There's 0% chance of precipitation, so you're not going to be seeing any rain when you're walking out this evening. But those skies are going to clear up from those clouds we're seeing now, so the moon's going to be nice and bright. And winds are going to be coming from the southwest at 7 miles an hour. And taking a look at the current temperature, Syracuse is around 56 right now. Buffalo's a little bit lower at 54. Albany just in between at 55. So all around New York right now, we are seeing temperatures, very, very similar temperatures all around New York, very fall-like temperatures, which is very normal for this time of year. And take a look at the current weather. There's nothing really over Syracuse right now. We do have a few clouds in the sky creating that cloud cover we saw today, but no really high or low pressure systems or cold or warm fronts headed our way. So temperatures are going to stay relatively the same over the next 12 hours or so. And taking a look at the current dew point, Syracuse is at 31. We are starting to dip on that dry, uncomfortable side as these temperatures get lower and that dew point stays at this rate. It is going to feel dry and it's going to be a little bit more uncomfortable than we've seen in the last few weeks. Not so humid like we did see. And taking a look at the precipitation forecast, we're expected to get 0.1 to 0.5 inches of rain over the next 48 hours. So very, very little over the next 48 hours. We may see a few showers, maybe just a little bit, but nothing to be concerned about, nothing you need to take an umbrella outside for the rest of for the next few days. And taking a look at that 5-day forecast, tomorrow it's going to be a high of 63 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Wednesday, similarly, with 56 degrees again with partly cloudy skies. But unfortunately on Thursday and Friday, temperatures are going to drop a little bit and we are going to see some ugly precipitation. Thursday we are going to see that rain with a temperature of 53 degrees and 90% chance of rain. So definitely going to look out for that. And 60% chance of rain on Friday. It's a wintry mix, so it's going to be kind of gross, but it should clear up by the weekend.
So, Rachel, thank you. I mean, the temperatures have been crazy. They've been cold, and they've been warm, and they've been cold again. What's going on with the snow? Is that creeping up on us? I know you said precipitation on Thursday, Friday. When are we definitely going to see that first big snowfall?
Well, we're looking at these temperatures obviously are definitely dropping in the last few weeks as we head further and further into fall, but fortunately we haven't seen any super low temperatures, but as soon as those temperatures hit, the ground starts to freeze and we hit kind of that precipitation. Again, you never know what the lake effect snow, but I'm seeing by the end of November, we're going to see one big snowfall, maybe even before Thanksgiving break.
How is that, historically, is that going to kind of be a new thing for us before Thanksgiving break, or what's going on with that?
I mean, we normally see at least a little bit of snow around this time of year. Halloween's usually about when it starts to snow, so we're kind of on track for that. But big snowfall, it wouldn't surprise me. It's not too off color for Syracuse at this time of year to snow before Thanksgiving break.
All right, Rachel Wolski, thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, well, now let's send it over to Brian for our ICYMI segment to fill you in on all the tech news, entertainment buzz, and important cultural stories you may have missed from this weekend. Brian, what's going on?
Unfortunately, we start our ICYMI segment with serious news from this weekend that you may have missed. Brittany Maynard, the 29-year-old school teacher with terminal brain cancer, ended her life Saturday after starting a national conversation about physician-assisted suicide. The newlywed moved from California to Oregon because it is one of only 3 states allowing death with dignity. Maynard has spent the last few months of her life traveling the country and died in her bed at home surrounded by family. And another heated debate from this weekend took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota, when the Washington Redskins played the Minnesota Vikings at home. Thousands of demonstrators welcomed the visiting team to the Metrodome with signs and chants to protest the Washington Redskins' name, which they called racist and disrespectful. Minneapolis' mayor even chimed in, saying that the clock is ticking to change their name. In case you were wondering, Minnesota edged Washington out 29-26. And if any of you were banking on scoring the Apple Watch in a chocolate box for Valentine's Day, you might want to think again. When the device was revealed 2 months ago, Apple CEO Tim Cook said the watch would launch in early 2015. The date is now in question, and rumor has it the watch won't be released until late spring. It appears as if they'll have to tell the time using my regular person watch until then. And I don't know if anyone's palms are sweating, but daredevil Nick Wallenda successfully completed another feat as he walked between skyscrapers on a high wire in Chicago last night. Oh yeah, and he was blindfolded. During the 2-hour event, Wallenda set 2 new world records, steepest tightrope walk and highest blindfolded walk. This is just the latest in a long list of aerial high wire accomplishments, which include walking along the Grand Canyon and Niagara Falls. And scientists have created a new way of observing penguins that is guaranteed to keep penguins' feet happy. Scientists have built rovers designed to look like baby emperor penguins and help keep penguins relaxed while they're being observed. Now, just a quick shout out to Morgan Freeman. Maybe we could stick a GoPro on one of those things and have a March of the Penguins too. It's just a friendly suggestion. And now, at the top of the charts yet again, Taylor Swift's 5th album, 1989, is on its way towards selling more than 1.3 million copies. If Swift's new album accomplishes this by the end of Sunday, the pop star will set the record for the biggest ever album sales week accomplished by a female artist. But that's not all for Taylor. 1989 is on its way towards having the largest sales week for any album since 2002. A job well done for Taylor Swift, whose switch over to pop music already seems really successful. The haters are going to keep on hate. And after years of rumors, another incident suggests that Katherine Heigl is still a pain to work with. Grey's Anatomy writer Shonda Rhimes stated in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter this past weekend that there are no, quote, Heigls on her hit ABC show Scandal. The actress responded to the allegations that she is a nasty person to work with, saying she doesn't like confrontation but also won't tolerate someone being rude. I wonder what Nick thinks of me. And Lauren Hill, a freshman from Division III Mount St. Joseph with inoperable brain cancer, was able to fulfill her dream of playing college basketball. Her team's first game was bumped up 2 weeks after her diagnosis worsened. Hill scored 4 points in the game, the first 2 points and the last 2 points of the game. At halftime, she was presented with the Pat Summitt Most Courageous Award. We'll have the rest of sports after the break. Tim, what's going on?
A great story there, Brian. Thank you. Up next in sports, several Q sports in action, including a recap of football and basketball in the Dome this past weekend. NSU men's soccer prepares for the ACC tournament. Stay with us here on Citrus TV News.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
The only triple doubles you get come with fries.
Last time you blocked someone, you were online.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool.
Not cool.
Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
We are different. Society should aspire to be more like us.
Be part of the first class. Get energized. Get outside.
Hold on, guys. It's gonna get bumpy.
And get moving. Experience the power of physical activity. Join the movement at ActionHeroAlliance.com.
You realize that 49 million Americans struggle with hunger? That's 1 out of every 6 Americans.
These people are around us every day. They're our friends, they're our coworkers, their kids go to school with our kids.
Sometimes we're not even aware that they're struggling. This problem is closer than you think. So is the solution.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
One of those phrases that grinds people's gears is that term must win. And going into Saturday's matchup at the Carrier Dome with NC State, a lot of people termed it that for SU, but there are still 3 more games that the Orange could win to make a bowl, and NC State hadn't won a game in ACC play heading into Saturday's matchup. At the Carrier Dome, Syracuse taking on the NC State Wolfpack, and in the first quarter, it was back last week, there were a bunch of field goals. NC State starts it out with a 3-0 with a field goal from Nicholas Say. Then fast forward to the end of the half, 9-0 NC State here, but Ben Lewis makes a tremendous catch. That cut it to 9-7 NC State. But then in the second half, A.J. Long hits Steve Ishmael with a 25-yard touchdown pass. Syracuse has a lead. How about that? And then this is a huge mistake from A.J. Long. 82-yard pick six by Pharaoh McKeever that gave NC State a three-point lead. Then Jacoby Brissett, exclamation points to Shadrack Thornton, 24-14 NC State is what that made it. Wolfpack would win it 24-17. Here's Scott Schaefer. He liked the effort from his team.
Like the fact the kids kept fighting, never quit. These kids will never quit, they'll never quit. It's like that Monty Python, remember that Monty Python show where the guy loses his arm, and he uses his other arm, and he loses his leg, and he's still fighting? That's our kids right there. We're just running out of arms and legs. So God love them. I love these kids, and doggone it. Came up short.
Now to SU basketball on the Hill. A first exhibition game for the Cuse, and early on, the freshman Caleb Joseph making a jump shot. That's his first points of his Cuse career. He had 19 in this game. Carlton, though, was hitting threes from the outside. Jim Boeheim not pleased over there with Rakeem Christmas. That seems to happen a lot. But Christmas would redeem himself. Gets a little jump hook there. That cut the Syracuse lead, or cut the Carlton lead to 52-50. But Syracuse would take the lead here. Ron Patterson. He had a bunch of threes, but that's a layup, 54-52. Syracuse wins it 76-68. Here's Caleb Joseph, the freshman, after the game.
It was a great experience. I could never imagine this happening. It was fun. It was great to be out there with my teammates and come back from I think we were down by 14 at one point. It shows a lot of character by our guys, and I'm real happy with everybody.
Staying on the hill, with SU sports, Syracuse soccer wrapped up its regular season on Friday night with some ghouls against Boston College, a 2-1 double overtime win on Halloween. The Cuse is the number 2 seed in the ACC and will host either NC State or Duke in the quarterfinals on Sunday at 1 o'clock. Here's head coach Ian McIntyre on his team's seeding in the tourney.
Our goals were to make the ACC tournament, and because, as you said, this time last year we weren't practicing, and that was very tough for this group. So they've worked very hard to make postseason soccer.
Let's now head to the pros. A lot of time spent on SU sports, but there was some NBA last night. The Knicks 1-1 going into this matchup. Carmelo Anthony hits a 3 there. That's significant because that gets him 20,000 career points. Pick it up in the fourth quarter. Charlotte Hornets down by 1, but this floater from Gary Neal puts the Hornets up 91-90 with just under a minute to go. Melo, though, jump shot, that's good. Puts the Knicks up by 2 with 1:20 left. Last chance here, 0.8 of a second for Charlotte, down by 3. Desperation heave from Lance Stevenson is no good. Knicks win it 96-93. They're 2-1 to start the year, and that's the win for the Knicks. But in the NFL, guys, Colts at Giants tonight. That's a key one to keep an eye out on Monday Night Football tonight.
So what is the preview for that game tonight, Giants-Colts? What do you say?
Well, the Giants, interesting, they're coming into this one, they're very inconsistent is what I would say. Colts with Andrew Luck looking pretty good, but they have had some slip-ups at times this year. So really interesting one. Big statement win, we'll put it that way, if the Giants can get this one done tonight.
All right, Tim Langley, thanks so much. All right, we will be back.
There is no credit fairy.
How else will I get a better credit score?
Look, you keep your credit card balances low. Only open a new card if you really need it.
No fairy?
Help, and it's free. Go to creditfairy.org.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Now, Rachel, tomorrow morning, what should I wear?
Well, it's gonna be a little bit nicer than it was today. So probably some jeans, maybe a nice light jacket and a long sleeve shirt, and you're gonna be all good.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
All right, we have Hunter Sines here, who's the moderator of tomorrow night's Citrus TV election special. Hunter, what are we looking at? What are you going to pay attention to tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow we're going to look at some major topics. First, the control of the United States Senate. The Democrats have been in control for almost a decade. Can the GOP take control tomorrow night? Another thing, locally, 24th Congressional District, Dan Maffei versus John Katko. It's going to be a very close call tomorrow. We're going to cover all the issues, break down the numbers, and watch it all pan out tomorrow night.
Well, myself and Brian will be joining you as well, along with our political team here at Citrus TV. So, Hunter, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
And make sure you stick with Citrus TV for all the coverage of the election. We'll be broadcasting live tomorrow, starting at 8 o'clock.
We have team coverage all night long from 8 to 9. We have Caroline Strange, Topher Lane, Max Darrow, and all of our political team here tonight in studio. We'll have breaking down issues and breaking down all the most important races around the country.
Be sure to check us out on Facebook and Twitter for all of your local news and your campus news, as well as all the election news happening tomorrow. For Citrus TV News, I'm Brian Chung.
And I'm Nick Cardona. Have a good night, Syracuse.